the microphone's not plugged in all the way. Okay, somebody tell me, how's it sound now? How does it sound now? Yeah, I'm waiting for that feedback. I need that feedback. Okay, yeah, it's because it wasn't plugged in all the way. Like one of the connections which wasn't plugged in all the way. So it is what it is. Thank you for letting me know that. So I'm going to go back. I got to redo the intro. I'll cut all that other part off of there. It'll be good. Yeah, welcome to MrFarr, TeaTime with MrFarr. Weekly podcast, educational related stuff, behind the scenes of what it's like to be a teacher. You feel me? Yeah, I stream this live at 8 p.m. on TikTok, but why do people keep trying to join the live? I don't even know these people. Nah, you can't join. We filming a podcast right now. Anyway, I'm gonna turn down this music a little bit. I think I'm gonna have music in the background today, and we'll just go from there. But anyway, I have been at 6th grade camp. That was crazy. I'll tell you guys about that experience. And then, oh, where's the yellow jacket? They asking in the chat, where's the yellow jacket? I think I actually have it on the ground, like, because I haven't even put it. Oh, yeah, it's right here. Here we go. Boom. Yellow jacket in full effect. I am not putting this on, but you know, I got a couple things. So I'm going to talk about this jacket, and then I'm going to talk about 6th grade camp, and that's pretty much going to be this whole podcast. But I do want to say this. Strive to always do your best, and there's always a way. So be thinking, problem solvers. Be that kind of person, be thinking ways around, because my whole podcast, I was not going to be able to film it because I came in here. I have 2 cameras now. Not even this camera. This is a phone, but I have 2 different cameras. Neither of them would connect to the TikTok Live Studio app. It would connect. I could get both of them to film on my freaking on my camera. Just, you know, you get the camera on your computer there, and both of them were able to connect that way. And I'm like, okay, cool. But for whatever reason, they would not connect to the TikTok Live Studio app. And I'm like, bro, what the freak is this? But you always got to be thinking of problem solving. So I was like, okay, look, I really want to be consistent. That's all I care about. Like, I want to be consistent, even if it's not the best work. That's okay. So work in progress, and I'm cool with that, right? As long as I can just be consistent and get it done. Just like my students, I'm like, just turn in your work. Just turn in your work. Do your best. Turn it in on time, and then we can work on the quality as we're going. So that's why I'm here on this phone, because I was like, okay, well, what way can I film this? Okay, boom. We'll switch around to the phone. We'll download it that way. Boom, boom, boom. And then we're up in there. You know what? We can talk about that, but we ain't got time for the chat right now, so we'll just hold on. But I do just want to say this. Be a problem solver. Be a problem solver. Be a problem solver. Because the pay gap between people who solve problems and the people who don't, right? The people who do solve problems, the people who don't, it's massively. If you think about it, like you go to McDonald's, the person who just puts together the hamburger, they get paid this much. The person who makes sure that all the hamburger, the cheese, the scheduling issues, the person who does all those things, they get paid quite a bit more. And it's like that at every company. The people who solve problems, who are able to think past square one, right, and solve problems, those are the people who get paid lots of money. And I'm like, be a problem solver. Yeah, and that was 4 years ago. One of my students just put in the chat, he can't believe he was in my class 4 years ago. Literally 4 years ago. That the world was a different place. 4 years ago, before the pandemic and all that, the world was a different place. You know what I mean? Like, it was a totally different place. And now we kind of are like here. But thank you for the people who are in the chat. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the sharing. I appreciate all of that. But let's just get on to this first thing. As I've already shared, I was at Camp Green Meadows for a week, right? So I was there for a week with 6th graders. I teach 8th grade science, so not all my students. Some of these students I knew because this year I actually taught some electives with 6th, 7th, and 8th graders in it. So, but it was dope. The very first thing, let me tell you, it was dope. When we got there, the weather was kind of crazy, but it wasn't too bad. You know, it was pretty nice outside, blah, blah, blah. The next morning, it was snowing. Full on winter wonderland style. It was amazing, and I was so happy for I was so happy for the students because a lot of them have been to the snow. Some of them haven't, so it was a first time experience. But a lot of them haven't seen the snow falling like when they've been there. So that was totally an amazing experience. And I called my mom and I was like, bruh, I still remember when we went to Yosemite that one time. I was like 14, so I was a freshman in high school. This was like 29 years ago. And I still remember, and we saw pictures of the snow falling. It was amazing, right? And I still remember that. So hopefully that locked in some core memories for some of the students. You know what I mean? Yes, they're like in the chat, you called your mom? Yes, I call my mom every day. Well, maybe not every day. I call or text my mom just about every day. So yes, I call my mom. Okay, get over it. Look, and that's a whole nother thing. But yes, I try to talk to my mom every day. As a matter of fact, I was just talking to her before I logged in, just before I logged in right here. But yeah, I try to call my mom or text her at least every day. Like for real. I just try and do that. And here, this is a side tip. This ain't even one of the main things we're talking about, but I'll just say this. If there are people who are important to you, contact them every day. Contact, if they're important to you, if it's people you love, contact them every day because life is short. And the crazy part is we think life is short for the old people, but there's younger people dying every day. So I'm like, if there's people that you love and care about, text them, message them, call them, whatever, every day that you can, because life is short. Okay. So anyway, I'll just put that out there. So, next thing I'll say like this. Thank God that I had a jacket. I did not have any rain jackets. And in California, if you don't know, we usually get by with just hoodies. If we have hoodies, we good. We usually, sorry, I'm opening up, you know what I mean? C4, taste of a new generation. That's Pepsi's old tagline, but oh, peach mango, let's go. Hey, get you one of those. Hey, hey, you better get you one of these. Okay. So anyway, so in California, you can get by with just having hoodies for the most part. It's not really that extreme, you know what I mean? Unless you're in northern California. But most of California, you can just get by with, you know what I mean? Just some hoodies, you know what I'm saying? But after this year where we had flooding and raining and all that kind of stuff, everywhere, freak, dude. I was like, man, I was telling my mom, I was on the phone with my mom, and I was like, Mom, I need to get myself a rain jacket, one of them to repel water and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. So freaking, I was like, okay, I got to tell myself I got to do that, all that stuff. And then, so we were going, looking at the forecast for this week, and it was rain. It was snow. And I was like, bruh, I really need to get one. So anyway, I got that jacket, and I do want to say this. I'm going to find out what jacket this is, but this company, Columbia, I know that they have quality outdoors products, you know what I mean? But this jacket was amazing. Literally, I wore a t-shirt and then I wore a 32 degree thermal underneath. It wasn't a thick thermal, just a light one, long sleeve, and then that jacket. And that's all I was outside in. And I had 2 grays, a black. That's what I wore Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I was warm. I was good. I didn't need anything else. So I'm like, this jacket was nice and warm. I got to check out what this technology is on the inside, because I'm assuming this has to be something that actually reflects the heat back into your body. I'm willing to bet you that's what this does, because this kept me warm out there. You know what I'm saying? People keep putting in the chat, MrFarr. But I do want to say, Columbia, shout out. If you're looking for a jacket, even though it was expensive, let me tell you that, but I'm going to be keeping that one for a long time. And I think I talked about that on the last podcast. I just haven't posted it yet. So I think I'm going to try and do a double upload this week. We'll figure that out. But anyway, I will say in California, it seems like you're going to need a rain jacket because, and I'm so glad that I got one, because some of the students, they had ponchos for the students, you know what I mean? But some of the students were like, nah, I'm just going to wear my hoodie. Their hoodies were soaking wet by the end of the day, just because the snow falls on you and it just starts absorbing into your clothes. You know what I mean? Because it starts melting. So it was kind of just crazy. The weather was wild. It was wonderful. And we had all kinds of weather. We had snow. We had rain. We had thunder, yeah, lightning, and I didn't see the lightning, but I heard the thunder. Thunder was freaking loud, and then we also had sun. So the weather just was all over the place. Mist, mini hail, bigger hail, like it was just all over the place when we were up there. But it was an amazing time. We got to go outdoors, even when we were when it was snowing. We hiked on the mountain. And that was crazy too, about like one day we went out and trained on the trails. Okay, cool. This is where you take the students. And then the next day when we go, the trail's completely covered in snow. So you're not exactly sure where you're going. The students didn't know. It's good. We didn't know. We were like, I think this is where we're supposed to be going. And then the next day it was like partial snow. And then the third day it was like no snow. So it was like, bro, every day you went out, it was different. So we had to teach classes in the morning, which was actually super cool. By the way, thank you for all the likes in the chat. Appreciate that. So we had to teach that in the morning. And then in the afternoon, we had a little bit more free time. So they had like climbing rock walls, building tents. They also had them build like survival shelters. So there was all kinds of things that they were like learning. So it was really, really, really awesome and a great experience. Another cool thing is we were up there with LeGrand, which is this other school, but that school is the first school I started subbing at. And then their principal came, and I am forever indebted to that gentleman because he gave me an opportunity and said I was going to be a good teacher. Just didn't have enough experience yet. So he's like, I can't hire you, but I'm going to let you sub at my school every month. I'm going to let you be a coach at my school. And I'm forever indebted to him for that. So I appreciate that. Plus, he gave me some good advice, which was sub everywhere. Sub everywhere. Sub everywhere, every grade level. Find out what school you want to be at. Also, I mean, and that's just a tip for newer teachers. Like if you're subbing right now, sub everywhere. Maybe I'll just segment this part. But hey, newer teachers, if you want to figure out and make sure, like if you're just entering the program and you're like, I'm multi-subject or skills, like whatever, sub everywhere. Sub at every grade level. Okay. Sub at different schools around you, because you'll get a couple things. There's some gems I could just drop. You'll get a couple things. One, you'll really figure out what grade level you want to actually be at, right? And then you also will be able to check out the schools. Yeah, check out the schools. Go in the break room. Just listen. Don't say anything. Just listen. See what the culture's like. See what the principal's like. See what they're saying about people. See what's going on in there. And see is this school community a place that I want to be a part of? So not only can you gain like where you are comfortable with, but then you also can see like, what school do I want to work in? So sub every grade level. And I'll tell you this is you can pick up so many things from teachers at different levels and subbing and seeing different things. So like the way that I teach and the way that I do stuff, I pulled from a lot of different places, right? And I'll also give you this. The most organized teachers are the ones at the younger grades because the students don't got no attention span, none. That's why I can't teach that low, because I'm not that organized. Okay. All right. Moving on to, it's crazy. We already been in here for a little bit, but moving on to, what was the last thing? Oh, we talked about the camp. Cool. We also talked about the jacket. That was cool. We talked a little about this other thing. That's cool. The last thing is I wanted to pull up something from the computer, but because of all these hassles, I'm really not going to be able to pull that up. But the last thing I kind of want to talk about today is just persevere. I kind of talked about that at the beginning of this, but just persevere. If you've got a goal in mind, if there's something that you're wanting to do, right, and get done, I'm like, just persevere. Figure out ways to work around. Like this podcast is just a little bit rushed. It is what it is. That's okay. Thank you for watching. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you sticking with me as I go through this journey and this process of figuring out exactly how this podcast is going to work and how, like me learning how to be consistent. You know what I mean? Because I have not, that's one of those things in my life that I'm working on, is being consistent with things, because I haven't always, but just persevere, just keep going. There's going to be obstacles in life, just in general, with school or your teaching or whatever it is you're doing. There's going to be obstacles. Keep looking for solutions and keep forging ahead. Do not stop, okay? You may have to be slowed down. You may have to take some time to game plan. You may have to go learn from someone, but don't stop. Just keep moving ahead. You know what I mean? And you'll be better off for it. And the hard times, the difficult times where you find solutions and all those kind of things, that's where real strength is gained. And it's just like being on a team or going to the gym. If it's always easy there, then you ain't working hard enough and you ain't getting no gains. But when you work hard, right, then you're going to start seeing those gains. And so I'm just going to keep working on this podcast. Sorry that this episode's a little like cray. I'm like all over the place, but it is what it is. I'll edit it. I'll get it posted, and I'll be better off for it. I'll learn some things. I'll learn like, oh, here's my backup. And I'm thinking of some organizational things I need to do in the background. But it's all in the learning process. So keep learning, right? I know I talk about that in school. Just keep learning. Keep trying to do better. And with that being said, I am logging off from this thing. I'm tired. I'm going to be honest. I am tired and exhausto. And I still got to enter some more grades in. So I still got more work to do. And so I'm going to be up for a little cool minute trying to finish off everything I got to do. So, hey, I'll see you guys on the next time with Tea Time with MrFarr. Peace.